Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's weather update. So, dangerous heat is coming to the Pacific Northwest. And looking at the National Weather Service's watches, warnings, and advisories maps, we have excessive heat warnings in effect for portions of northwestern California, western Oregon, as well as northern Oregon and southern Washington state in the dark purples. We have an excessive heat watch covering the rest of Washington state and northern Idaho in the maroon. And then we have heat advisories in the oranges in parts of the Central Valley of California and north central Oregon, and a red flag warning across the Cascades. And meanwhile, the South just can't catch a break from the heat, where we have excessive heat warnings from Texas through Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, into Florida, heat advisories into the Carolinas, and then we have some excessive heat watches across Atlanta and red flag fire weather warnings across much of central and west central Texas. So looking at the GFS model for high temperatures today across the Pacific Northwest, uh, in areas like Portland, Oregon, down towards Salem, we're looking at high temperatures around 100 degrees today. And in eastern Washington state, high temperatures between about 90 and 96. So, dangerous heat coming to the Pacific Northwest. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water and staying in the shade during the hottest parts of the day. And then as we go into tomorrow, the heat's going to get even worse across the Pacific Northwest. We're looking at temperatures as high as 106 in southwestern Oregon, up through western Oregon, between about 103 to 104 in Portland, Oregon tomorrow, 92 in Seattle and eastern Washington state, between about 95 and 105. So the heat gets even more dangerous tomorrow. And like I said, make sure you're preparing for this heat, drinking plenty of water, and staying in the shade during the hottest parts of the day. And then even as we go into Wednesday, the heat continues with temperatures between about 100 and 103 along western Oregon, about 103 in Portland on Wednesday. And then as we go into eastern Washington state and northeastern Oregon, we could be seeing temperatures as high as 110 to 112 on Wednesday. So extreme dangerous heat for this area of the country for at least the next 3 days. Looking at the heat index. So looking at today's heat index values, we're looking at heat indices between about 95 and 100 across western Oregon, between about 90 and 95 across Washington state, and then across northern California, we could be seeing heat index values as high as 105 to 107. Looking at the heat index values for tomorrow across the Pacific Northwest, heat index values tomorrow are going to get hotter across Oregon, where heat index values are going to range between about 100 and 103 in western Oregon, about 95 to 100 in most of Washington state, in eastern Oregon between about 88 and 95, and California between 100 and 105. And then looking at the heat index values for Wednesday, or for Tuesday, heat index values for Tuesday are also going to be around 100 in western Oregon, and then eastern northeast Oregon, Washington state. We're looking at heat index values on Tuesday between 100 and 106. So extremely dangerous heat index values for eastern Oregon and Washington state by Tuesday, and even into California, the northern San Joaquin Valley, heat index values as high as 107 on Tuesday. And looking at the latest Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14 day outlook, or actually the 6 to 10 day outlook, we're seeing no relief in sight for the heat across most of the US, with the extreme heat centered across the south and central United States for the next 6 to 10 days, and across the Pacific Northwest, some slightly above average temperatures. And then looking at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, we will see a break in the heat across the Pacific Northwest during the next 8 to 14 days, but unfortunately, the extreme, incessant heat continues across the central and southern United States for the next 8 to 14 days. Thanks for watching today's update on the heat. Make sure you are preparing for this extreme heat if you live across the Pacific Northwest. Stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.